Hey everybody, I haven't posted a video in years, and part of it's because I've been busy, part of it is because I now teach, and I don't want my students really to be able to see this kind of stuff, and I don't want to put my biases out there too much in case they found stuff like this. But this is too important, and so I'm going to do it. And that is a shout out or call to young people that you do not let the cynicism that you rightfully have towards government, politics, and our institutions in this country in general. Do not let that cynicism allow you to cast a vote or not cast a vote that would allow the monstrous Donald Trump to become president. This man is indecent. This man has no morals. This man is, again, coming from an atheist, this kind of absolutism sounds a little weird, but this man is evil. This man is racist. This man is sexist. This man does not give a shit about anybody besides himself. This man plays on racist fears. This man plays on xenophobic fears. This man has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. He's both stupid and ignorant. The only thing he's good at is bombast and branding. And unfortunately, and again, I understand this is where your cynicism comes from. Unfortunately, our media has failed so badly that this kind of thing has gone unchecked and gotten to this point. But us young people, and I'm a millennial as well, I'm 30 now, can't believe it, right? We cannot allow this. We cannot only have a 5-point gap between Clinton and Trump, which is what we have right now. It is up to us. This may not be what we wanted, but it is up to us to stop the most evil, the most wretched, the most despicable, the most pathetic, the most dangerous person to ever run for president of the United States. It is our job to stop him, right? Minorities are one voting constituency that's going to clobber Trump, and they're going to do their part. I wish I was seeing even bigger gaps. I'm seeing a black voting percentage for Clinton between 80 and 90 when it should be 99. I'm seeing Hispanic voting percentages for Clinton between 58 and 75 when they should be again at 98, 99%. This man represents a direct existential threat to every non-white person in this country, and we cannot pretend otherwise. We can't. We cannot play with this. We cannot take this lightly. This is the biggest threat to the country, probably in the history of the country, but most certainly in my lifetime, right? You guys all know, or if I didn't make videos about it, but I assume everyone that watches my channel understands that I am a socialist. I am a Bernie supporter. I went hard for Bernie. I don't like some of the things that happened to Bernie, both from the Clinton camp and from the media. I'm very upset about that. And I will continue to fight for what I thought was right and what I thought Bernie was much more correct on than Hillary. But I can only fight for those things if Clinton is in office. I cannot reason with a madman. I can't deal with a madman. I can't convince a madman, especially a madman who runs his political campaign based on hatred of me and other people that look like me. Cannot do it. The only way to successfully achieve activist change from where we are right now would be to push and push and push and push Hillary Clinton to the right position, which is doable, even though she may or may not hold these positions. She's amenable to holding these positions, even if she is extraordinarily resistant to holding some of these positions. She can be reasoned with. She does have a black constituency. She has some incentive to listen to them, right? Obama hasn't done a good job listening to us. We understand all of these things. But this is too important. We cannot allow the precedent of being racist, running on racism, running on xenophobia, saying the most outrageous things, having a lower bar than my 5-year-old has in terms of speech, both in terms of knowledge and in terms of decorum. Trump has a lower bar than my 5-year-old son, and this is not a precedent that we can allow to move forward and permeate this country. We cannot incentivize the next election the next Republican primary to look like this, right? They've already come too dangerously close to looking like this in the past, right? They're ugly. We understand what ties the thing that ties the Republican coalition together the most is racial anxiety. That's what it is. Clearly, that's been proven by Trump. He just threw all the Bush doctrine in the trash for the most part, right? And proposed family leave, all these kind of things that conservatives should hate, right? But it doesn't bother them because they're held together by racial hatred, and we cannot reward that. We simply cannot. All right, I wish Hillary Clinton was a different candidate. I wish we were not running the wife of a former president. There are many, many, many issues I have with Hillary Clinton going back to the 90s. Many issues I have with Bill Clinton going back to the 90s. But to vote for Gary Johnson is a slap in the face to every brown person like myself, to every young parent who has young brown children, right? To every woman in this country, to every Muslim in this country, to every Mexican American in this country, to give Trump a pass on the myriad of disgusting and disqualifying things he said, from the nonsense about John McCain, to the retweeting white supremacists, to the absolute lack of knowledge on foreign policy or domestic policy. All right, we can go on and on and on and on and on. This man is disgusting. This man is a piece of shit, and he must be defeated, and he must be defeated soundly. I know it is not everyone's cup of tea. It's almost no one's cup of tea to vote against someone. You want to vote for someone. Well, that is not the position that we find ourselves in. We have a qualified, competent candidate who has many flaws. It is qualified, competent, and despite her many flaws, seems to care something about public service, though her personal ambition certainly would rival that, right? Versus someone that's somewhere between Hitler and Mussolini, right? In terms of their fascistic tendencies. Someone who just today suggested that instead of putting a criminal in the hospital and then in jail, that we do what? What? Kill them? Hang them? What is he suggesting? Torture them? I mean, this man is sick. This man is disgusting. Alright, and so, you know, you've got this man who has no moral decency, no public policy knowledge, no earthly idea or even intellectual curiosity about most of the major topics going on in the world. A guy who flip-flops over and over again on his main policy about deportation, and who flip-flops over and over again on his second main policy about banning Muslims. This man is a piece of shit, and we need to rebuke him as a country. That is what we need to do right now. And then we get better, right? We cannot continue to get worse. We simply cannot. And to all my friends out there who think that Trump and Hillary would be equally as bad, or somehow a Trump presidency failing, crashing, and burning badly would eventually lead to some sort of turnaround, I've got to tell you to get real. That's not what we've seen in American politics. It isn't, right? Bush's nonsense did not take us further to the left. It took us further to the right and promoted moderate Democrats like Barack Obama. That is not going to help Trump burning the place to the ground. And how dare you think that it's acceptable for him to burn the place to the ground for us to get to a better place? Have you no empathy for your neighbors? Have you no empathy for your potential neighbors? Right? These are real families he's talking about destroying. These are real families he's talking about ruining. Right? These are real international incidents he's talking about going through with. And this is insanity to me. I'm shocked and appalled on the one hand, and on the other hand, not so surprised that these ugly things would work, because we haven't been rebuking them for the last 10-15 years. But we start the rebuke now. All young people need to vote in their interest. And their interest is Donald Trump is an existential threat to half of us and a threat to our nation to the other half. All right? Do what you have to do. I never ask anyone to share videos or send them around, but send this around. This is important, right? I have 2 little baby boys. I cannot have them growing up in a country that allowed Donald Trump to be president. Shame on us for letting it get this far. Shame on us, really. And shame on us if we let it get any further. Our children would never forgive us for something like this. This is shameful and disgusting. Alright, guys. Peace, even though this is a disgusting time. Vote Hillary. She's not the best, but she is not a world-ending event like Donald Trump is. That's what Noam Chomsky has suggested. Do your part.